Page 180.
Yeah, let's take a look. Now we are in the verse, at the verse number 97. Okay. So let's take a look. Explanation on the essence and stage of practice of the three vehicles. Okay. So in stage 1, explaining the differences in the type of the people who undertake this path. Then in stage 2 is explaining the elements that make up this path. Is about Four Noble Truths and also the law of dependent origination. We have finished it. In stage 3 is the defining the noble truth of the path to cessation as embodied by the three training and noble eightfold path. Okay, so class, the three training we have already finished. Now we are in the noble eightfold path, and number first is the right view. So class, we are still in the right view. Okay, so please go to the verses number 97. Right understanding also means insight into the four truths. Knowing the Four Noble Truths as they are, one should severe accumulation and practice the way, and should realize the extinction of the path of confusion. For from extinction, one realized Nirvana. Sorry, before I proceed, once we finish the right view, so we will continue the other seven path, seven elements. Basically, a noble eightfold path is the major elements, is the major condenser in this chapter. Okay, so after this chapter we finish, we will proceed to regards for the friction, meaning to say we understand how the merit for attaining the friction. Okay, the first, second, third, and fourth. The reason why it is so important to understand the merit, the reason is, attaining. How to say, sage is our target. Why shall we attain level as the sage, as the first stage to the fourth stage? It's due to their merit. So this is the last part. So after this, we will continue to the final chapter, which is the Buddhahood already, the Bodhisattva path already. So this is our progress. Okay. So now let's take a look.
Sư phụ.
Yes.
Sư phụ.
Yeah. Please, yeah.
So this noble eightfold path. So this noble eightfold path is actually the Magga, the path to liberation.
Not really.
Fruition.
Not really. Noble eightfold path. There's a two types of noble eightfold path. One is the mandate eightfold path. One is a supra mandate. Now we are in the mandate. But once we reach to the fruition, we'll talk about the supra mandate eightfold path. Okay. Okay. Well,
fruition.
Yeah. The details for the supra mandate, you have to go to the Abhidhamma. To this level, because this the Buddhahood is still in the form 5 SPM level, the way I put it, Abhidhamma is in the form 6, so we still have to go to the form 6 in order to get the details. Okay, well, basically once you reach to the Abhidhamma, the knowledge for meditation is already enough. Especially in your age, you should spend more time in meditation. I think it I don't really encourage you to go to academic study in university. Not really, because in your age, you're supposed to more meditate and plan for the next life with a good samadhi and vipassana skills. Okay, let's continue. Okay, so the sentence number 1 is, this is not a hollow contemplation of cause and effect or of existence and emptiness. Okay. Then we come to another fact that there's quite long explanation. Well, okay, the Buddha further said that suffering should be known, all right? It should be profoundly understood and recognized, because only if one profoundly understands that the world is by nature oppressive view, one wish to renounce the world and seek the liberation. Okay. Then, okay, because of the differences in fundamental nature and in methods of practice, students of Buddhism are divided into 2 schools. So it's about, one is a gradual understanding, that of the subtle understanding. Okay, class, basically, like Mr. Leong, basically you are more exposed to Theravada. Okay, now the author basically used the information from the Savastivada to compose these books. Okay, so they do some difference. There is some difference between these two schools, but mostly they are similar, quite a lot of similarity, because both of them are originated from the Theravada. Okay, so well, basically for realization of the Four Noble Truth, okay, there's one school emphasized it should be graduate realization, and one is sudden realization. So I try to recall you first regards this. Okay. Okay, well, this is one ancient argument. Argument is for fun only. So lastly, the sutra said that without the intuitive experience of the first three truths, one cannot have the insight of the truth of the way, and that the four truths are to be entered gradually, just as one would climb a stairway. So basically, I think I would prefer the middle explanation that sudden realization, for the graduate realization is the preparation for the sudden realization. Sudden realization, the outcome from the gradual realization. I think we prefer this middle way. It won't happen just without any reason and without nothing. Okay. So now we go to the new paragraph. Okay. So I think Mr. Leong's line is quite good. So Mr. Leong, can you please read it out? Okay, read it out.
Sifu, now we are on page 181, verse
181.
180.
180, last paragraph.
Oh, 181 already. Oh, okay, sorry.
180.
Okay, 180. Okay.
180.
Last paragraph.
Okay, sorry, because my okay, I'm a little bit confused. My page number is quite a little bit different. Shall I know what is the verses which is more closest to you? The verses
98. Next page. You go next page.
Next page. Okay, this.
Go down. Go down.
Last paragraph.
Paragraph.
Go down some more.
Here.
Some more.
In the past.
One
more.
Okay.
Yes.
In the past.
Yes.
In the past.
Yes, in the past.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. I think I don't really do the good record. Okay, so Mr. Leong, can you please read through it now?
In the past, there were masters who missed the point, thinking that the happy state of Confucius and his student Yan, the manifestation of highest virtues in the great learning, and the extending of one's conscious, as taught by Mencius, were identical with the main ideas of Buddhism that came from the West. So some people say glibly that the sages of the East are of the same mind as the sages of the West, as if Confucianism and Buddhism were integrated. Yet, among those Confucian masters who have studied and recorded lectures of Zhan masters and practiced internal discipline, have any firmly recognized the cause and effect of the three periods of time? Have any sought right understanding from dependent originations, transmigration, and extinction? Have any realized that all sentient beings are equal? Fundamentally, they did not have the decisive wisdom that abides in the Dharma, the knowledge of the cause and effect of the three periods. Inevitably, they drifted beyond the gate of the Buddha Dharma. Those neo-Confucian masters could not agree with the Buddha Dharma. Moreover, why did they exclude Buddhism and Taoism the way they rejected Yang and Mo? They did so because they did not have the right understanding of the Buddha Dharma. They did not know what the wisdom that comes from nirvana depends upon cultivating an understanding of the dharma of dependent originations, cause and effect. Thus, if people think that the highest Buddha Dharma is concerned only with the mind, nature, or absolute spirit, they are going astray and abandoning themselves to degeneration.
Thank you so much, Mr. Leong. Your Wi-Fi is exceptionally good today, Mr. Leong.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Leong, you will read the whole day.
Yeah, you should take
Agree.
hard for you to experience the best. To experience the good Wi-Fi,
Wow, Elena taking advantage of me,
No, it's the Sally. Hey, you confused. Sally is the culprit. Hey.
Sally, Okay.
Extend again, Sifu. Make it bigger.
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Thumb up, please, if you finish. Okay. Okay. Well, basically, I think I will just try roughly tell you regarding how did Chinese try to integrate the Buddhism, which is from which is a foreigner, in order to become part of the Chinese culture. I roughly talk about this because you all are from English education background. You might be quite strange, but actually no. Even though we are from Chinese education background, we are not quite truly understand. The reason is we used to study the history of a Paramiswara. no more regard the Chinese history for the past 1,000 years. But I do study during my my Buddhism study in the college. Okay, class. Basically, it happens like that. Before the Buddhism came to the China, okay, China actually highly civilized, especially the Confucianism and also from the Taoism. They're highly civilized, okay. And once Buddhism come, it really take time for Buddhism in order to integrate together, become partial of the Chinese culture. And the kings is the one who played the major role because at that time, it's I think about 3rd century. It began from I think maybe from 1st century to the 6th or 7th century in China. Well, there's a lot of war, especially from the northern part, the nomad. The nomad, they are very good. but I mean to conquer China by using the war. Okay, but once you come to finally you manage to conquer the mainland of the China, especially the middle part. So how do you try to unite them? So they think about the religions. Buddhism does really they play the role at that time. So they're very smart. They manipulate the Buddhism in order to unite all the people. But at the same time, Buddhism are very smart. They say, okay, you can use Buddhism, but at the same time, we hope you can take refuge under the Buddhism too. So that is a deal. Okay, so this is the reason why Buddhism become partial of the Chinese culture with the help of the king. Okay, with the help of the king. So finally, we integrate together. But once we integrate together, we develop a new style of the thinking. You see a class, you see now, four of you are studying Buddhism with a monk. Okay, but can you imagine 1,000 years ago, it is possible the woman, like three of you in this age were studying Buddhism from a monk in China? It is possible, you think? Not possible.
No.
Not possible. I think firstly, maybe even though the normal people, residents, they are unable to study because everybody involved in the culture. They're busy in doing the farming. There is a cultural error, right? Agricultural error. See, everybody is busy to do the farming. Okay, I think maybe the king, the family of the king, and also very rich people, then they got time to come to the temple and look for the monk and talk about the dharma. You see or not? So that is the situation, you see. So finally, you end up still, they try to integrate the Buddhism with all the Lao Tzu, all this to integrate together. So a new form of the Buddhism have been created. Okay, so that's the reason why sometimes we don't want to pay too much attention over this type of new creation because it makes us getting more confused. We prefer go back to the Nikaya and Agama because directly we can understand what Shakyamuni teach. So this is one part happen in the Buddhism. Correct as a good for it doesn't matter you don't know how, but you understand that it happens before. They try to integrate. So because the wealth people, they got so many time, so they prefer this type of philosophical argument, all this type of thing. So I usually also try to include the reason is basically the new creation, lack of dependent origination. So just now he tried to question, do they really know that? Buddhism have to go through, go through the 3 period of the time, okay? Because independent originations involve 3 period, right? And also he also tried to query that the Zen, basically the Chinese Zen, this is a China production. They don't really have the 3 period of the time regarding the dependent origination. They don't have, because this is a new product from the Chinese Zen master. Okay, the effective is another issue but if you really use the 3 vehicle theory to see it seems it is not it is not equipped with this type of the dependent origination. So I think maybe not necessary all the meditation method in the market have to really fit not necessary, and this is not easy. You get the product really fit the 3 period of the dependent origination. Even though in Theravada themselves, not all the school really have a good meditation skills together with the dependent origination. Not really. Okay, so anyway, you have to know 3 vehicle is about this. So next time, if let's say you learn meditation from a good teacher, you can ask this question. How about the dependent origination? How do you apply this theory? Is this theory relevant to you? Because why it is so important? Class, if you remember in our last, the previous lesson, we talk about Fa Zhu Zhi, right? You need to say the wisdom, the wisdom by knowing the cause and effect is so important, because without this knowledge, especially independent origination, you can hardly to obtain the knowledge of the wisdom from the Nibbana. Do you remember this? Okay. I think Elena Selin know lah. Yeah, you have to go back to look for the text. This is very important. I mean, the text is available in the Agama. Oh, they say you must have this type of Patika Samubhadra knowledge in order to get to the Nibbana. So, I mean, if you know the Buddhism, you can try to query the teacher. If let's say without these facts, how are you going to attain, see how do they explain it? Okay, get it? This is the crucial points here. Okay, next we'll go to the graph. But I don't think we should torture Mr. Leong. So we let Sally
You bully me instead. Lah. Okay. Right, right, right thoughts leads to renunciation, to the abandonment of desire and to extinction. The different aspects of faultless eightfold right path are to be accomplished simultaneously. But in the course of practice, they arise in sequence. After right understanding has arisen, right thought arises, which further ponders right understanding views. Right understanding can be said to be wisdom that comes from learning, from hearing the Buddha, a disciple of the Buddhas or the sutras. Whereas right thought is the wisdom that comes from thinking carefully and differentiating clearly. Those who have right understanding will definitely achieve right belief. Those with such belief will have the intent of attaining realization. Thus, right thought arising from right understanding triggers the motivation towards liberation. Because of this, the old translation of right thought was the right intent or right desire. Right understanding of impermanence leads to right thought and towards renunciation. Sentient beings are deeply attached to the self and the world. Within the framework of right thought, seeing that everything is impermanent and involves suffering allows one to let go of fame, wealth, power, resentment, and so forth. This letting go, which leads towards renunciation, comes from a deep belief in cause and effect. One renounces the world, yet one courageously does good and seeks the truth, which differs from the ordinary pessimistic outlook on life that leads to doing nothing.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, one question. Wait, let me see first. We should pronounce a decisive or decisive. Which is correct, class? Decisive or decisive?
Decisive.
Oh, decisive is the accurate one. Oh, I see. Okay. Because we didn't get the pronunciation. Okay, Jones. So it's not that accurate. Thumb out once you finish. Thumb out in next paragraph. Elena, okay? Yeah, next paragraph. Okay, finish. Selena, okay. Okay, so class, now we talk about from right understanding, we go to the right thought. Okay, class, first of all, I have to tell you that the definition for the right thought is a little bit different. Now, I mean, we do some sort of like the academic study. Okay. We will define, basically, we define right thought as a right thinking. So we said that in the beginning, you should have a right view. Okay, if you have the right view, meaning to say that you understand that everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta. So this view will lead you for cultivation as a nibbana. Okay, because you see, if you see even though I mean academically we know that everything is impermanent. Well, this is good enough to lead you have the intentions for the liberation. So basically, especially the Thai monk, the way they interpret the Eight Noble Path, basically they will interpret it this way. Eight Noble Path is in daily life. So you have a right view, all right? So you want that you see everything impermanence, then you have an intention, that is a right thought. From the right thought, you begin with all the a right livelihood, a right vigorous, everything that start already. So this is how they interpret it. Okay, whereas the second way to interpretation is right understanding could be not the knowledge. This is the experience of the vipassana. So meaning to say that you directly observe the impermanence to our five aggregates, and from here you start arising. I mean, the intention for liberation. So there's the two ways. So in second ways, they don't interpret right thought as thinking. No, they don't interpret this way. It has nothing to do with think something. No. Everything is still in the direct knowledge in the vipassana. And basically, right thought in Abhidhamma, it will differ it as a vitakka. What does it mean, vitakka? Vitakka meaning to say that you try to put your heart in one object. Okay, I try to put your heart in one object. This is how they give a different interpretation. Okay, well, anyway, in our this level, maybe I think the first definition is good enough for you. So basically, for right thought, you just interpret it as thinking. Okay, it's the thinking anyhow. But one thing is, the author tried to remind us that don't always think that right understanding, the observation of impermanence is pessimistic. No, this is wrong. Okay, how do we differentiate pessimistic and the right understanding? The reason is right understanding is the truth of the world. This is the truth. Okay, by knowing the thing is impermanence, we should be more vigorous, especially by leading the way to the nibbana. But for those pessimistic meaning to say that they don't take in, they don't have any mood to do anything. That's the difference. For those who are, with the right understanding, they will work hard with vigorous. But of course, the way to the nibbana, not to the way to making money. Okay, but for the layman, we shouldn't overemphasize the right understanding to the impermanence, especially the five aggregate. Because for laymen, they should emphasize on their career, making money, okay, take care of the family. So preferably, we should emphasize more on right effort, right effort, right livelihood, I think we're more suitable to the layman. So, and then people they won't be lazy or wouldn't have excuse themselves with the dharma for not doing any work. I think that would be more proper. So class, remember, so I realized that some Theravadi now, they realize that, oh, we keep on mentioning impermanence, but impermanence will lead people to pessimistics. So they prefer to shift attention to the metta bhavana. Because metta bhavana is something is very unique and universal. I think that might be right direction. People wouldn't misunderstood with the metta bhavana. You get it? Okay. So that is the meaning for this part. So let me check, see, do I miss out any point or not? Okay. So class, take a look. Okay. Yeah, okay. Right understanding arise, then a right thought come. Okay. So we define as the hearing from the Buddhism. All right. Okay. You see, I think it and differentiate it. So this is, we use this definition, we don't use the Vipassana definition. You see, it will trigger the motivation. See or not? With the right view, you trigger the right motivation. So sometimes we say it's a right intent or right desire for the right thought now. Okay, so we talked about this already. Okay, yeah. Okay, so we include all the point already. Okay, so next two paragraph. I think Elena, please read it out for the next two big paragraph.
Right thought, which is without self, leads to abandonment of desire. One can stay unattached to the 5 desires and sexual desire. For example, when hearing exquisite singing, it becomes like the sound of the wind. One does not necessarily find it unpleasant, for it stirs up no emotion. After the singing stops, there is also no attachment to the memory. This is like moving one's limb in the air. There is no obstruction. The right thought of nirvana's stillness leads to extinction. With the mind focused on nirvana, practice the way with everything aiming at this goal. Renunciation, abandonment of desire, and extinction are evidence of a mind moving from the world towards liberation. The resolution to renounce remains consistent from the start to the end of the way of liberation. That is the Eightfold Path, the Eightfold Right Path. It is just that right understanding emphasizes the knowledge of renunciation, the knowledge of abandonment of desire, and the knowledge of extinction. The following 6 branches of the right path are practices directed towards these knowledges. Right speech, right action, and right livelihood. 100. Right speech, action, and livelihood have pure precepts as their basic nature. Right understanding and right thoughts are the study of wisdom. The right thought to seek realization will inevitably lead to the 3 branches of right speech, right action, and right livelihood. Right speech or proper speech and writing means not lying, not backbiting, not engaging in evil or flirtatious speech. Right action or proper physical action means not killing, not stealing, and not having sex. Right livelihood means having a proper economic life. Having the correct view to seek liberation from birth and death, one will definitely manifest proper conduct. All 3 have pure precepts as their basic nature.
Okay, thank you so much. Off the mic, please. A lot of barking. Elena, is it your pet? Keep on barking.
My neighbor's dog.
Oh, not your pet. You don't own any pet.
I got 2 dogs.
Dog or pets? Okay, class, let's take a look. If let's say through the right thought, okay, you understand that the world is impermanent, well, this type of the perception will lead us to detachment from the fame, wealth, everything. Once we start to have this type of stage, it will lead us to the right, the right speech, right action, and right livelihood. The reason is why it happened like this. In order to attain to Nibbana, you have to choose the proper career. In order to attain to the Nibbana, you will avoid the speech which will create, the karma, the bad karma for ourselves, and also the action will create a bad karma to ourselves. So you see, once you have a right understanding, then the rest will go accordingly. You see, so this is the reason why in three vehicle they very emphasize on right understanding in the first place. Okay, class, you have to remember that right understanding also is important element in the five vehicle. Basically, there's a four type of the right understanding in five vehicle, which is the understanding of there's a right and wrong. Second, there is a karma and also there's an effect. Karma and vipaka. There's a trade life and there's a sage and also and the ordinary people. By having this four perception, we use this to view our world. Basically, you will get a very good you have get a good reason for you and convincible reason for you to so that if you confront with the inequality, okay, by having this four perception, you won't feel uncomfortable. You can accept whatever facts, whatever inequality from the mundane world. But this is only for the five vehicle. When it goes to the supramundane, it must have the right understanding that regarding the impermanence of the life. Okay, so you must be able to see these two different. Okay, okay. Next, let's take a look. It's about the next paragraph. Okay, so Mr. Leong, they're gone already. So Sally, your turn. Their Wi-Fi turns weak already. Yeah, Sally, please on the mic for lay devotee.
Okay. For lay devotees, right livelihood means having a legal occupation and a reasonable means of getting money. They should neither be too wasteful nor too stingy in spending, but should follow the life of the middle way as taught by the Buddha. All along, monastic disciples have relied on the offerings of alms givers, as the Buddha had especially advised them to do. I like to quote a section of the Jing Jue to explain the right livelihoods of monastics. Those who keep the pure precepts should not sell and trade, set up farms and houses, support people and keep servants, or raise animals. They should stay away from planting and from all treasures as if they were avoiding a deep flaming beach. They should not cut grass and trees, reclaim land, mix medicines, tell fortunes, use astrology to make predictions, or calculate the almanac. They should be frugal and live a pure life. They should not participate in worldly affairs or be treated as government officials. They should not practice magic, make immorality medicines remedies, befriend high-ranking people, or be indecent and arrogant. They should have proper minds and right mindfulness which seeks liberation. They should not cover their flaws or display special abilities for the purpose of deceiving people. They should be content with the four offerings and should not store up alms. This is the brief explanation of the characteristics of keeping the precepts.
Yes, footnote 52 class, can you check for me? Footnote 52, yes, I think should be. Yes,
Jiao Jia Qing.
Okay, from what's the number of the original text? Is there any references?
T2.
No. T2. Okay, the second. Tripitaka second. All right, I got it. Okay. So the Yijiao Jing class, the meaning is the last sermon from the Shakyamuni. That is the meaning. Class, you can write down. The last sermon from Shakyamuni before Parinibbana, Mahaparinibbana. I think this is quite famous, especially in Theravada. The last sermon.
Last sermon.
Last sermon, yes.
Last sermon of Buddha before Parinibbana. Buddha passing away.
Your thumb out once you finish, go to next page. Yes. Yeah, Mr. Leung, Elena, finish. Okay. So some more. Okay. Yeah, Mr. Leung, finish. Okay. Okay, Elena, okay. Okay, class. Well, the last sermon of the Shakyamuni. Sorry to inform that cannot be practiced 100%. Well, basically, again, I wish to mention that if let's say you are a very conservative school, you are conservatism, and especially if your background is from the agricultural country and you stay in the forest, you can almost do whatever stated in in the sutra. Just now it's from Yijiao Jing, the last sermon. You can almost 100%, provided that the whole country, with the support of the government and all the devotee, they are always support the Sangha community. If without this background, quite hard to follow. So you see, no farming, no planting. Where God in China, they already planting already because you don't plant, you can't survive. Chinese people, they say Pindapa is the beggar, you see. And now you see, why did Shakapuni say that, oh, don't go to look for astrology, don't go to heal the people. The reason is in Brahmanism, you see, they study the Ayurveda, and also they can, they study the astrology at the same time. Meaning to say that by knowing your date of birth, so they can calculate for you when is the best time for you to do this, to do that. Well, I think now in Buddhism, some monk, if before before renouncing, before the renunciation, they got this type of ability. Basically, they will use it up, maybe as a tools. To guide more people to the Buddhism, the way I see it. So basically, we will interpret as a Bodhisattva path. So that's the reason why in the first century, the Bodhisattva Sutra all appeared. And in Bodhisattva Sutra, whatever is inallowable in this sutra all become allowable, but with some condition, meaning to say that you must achieve a very good Samatha Vipassana, and then you really need some tools in order to bring more people in, then you can use it. Okay, but now in Malaysia, it's the same as we discussed before. No sell and trade. The conservative, the conservatism, basically they will try to avoid this. So they appoint the layman to involve in all the sell and the trade. That's what I see. But for the progressivism, they do everything by themselves. Okay, so I think that's the thing I would like to add in. So class, you just be mindful once you go to the very original and authentic, especially in Thailand and also Burmese monk, you have to always, they have a tendency to criticize the progressivism. They are not origin. If you look to the reality, it's quite hard to follow exactly. The sermon, which is given, 1,000 years ago with a different background. So this is something. That's the point I want to add in need to and remind me. Okay, so the rest we continue to the other things already. Okay, Mr. Leong, since you come back, your turns to read it out. Are you here, Mr. Leong? Oh, so Elena, your turn, They disappeared already.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Leong, come back. Yeah, please.
You start with upright views, follow through with pure conduct. This in cooperation with the eyes and the legs can bring one to the other shore. Those who practice the way of liberation should begin with upright views, right understanding and right thoughts, and follow up with pure conduct, right speech, right action, and right livelihood. Right speech, right action, and right livelihood are like two legs. Not only does one need to have both legs to walk, but they have to be healthy. Right understanding and right thought are like eyes that can see the road clearly. Eyes, too, have to be healthy and able to see accurately. Regardless of where one wants to go, one has to recognize one's destination, know the way, and be able to move on step by step. With legs and eyes cooperating, one can reach one's destination. This cooperation is, of course, necessary to bring one to the nirvana of the other shore. As explained above, within the world transcending doctrine of liberation, one must first have correct understanding and pure conduct. It is the same for worldly good ways.
Sally.
Is directed to it is like a blind man and escape from the fire.
Thank you so
Frozen.
much. You Sally so enjoy just now, Mr. Liu. With the piano notes.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Erdi is about to rain and waiting for a downpour. I think quite a heavy downpour. How about your place?
It's already raining.
It's already raining now. The meteorology department.
My place.
Yes, how about Mr. Lim?
Here cloudy, want to rain already.
Oh, cloudy, huh? The meteorology department announced, for the yellow signal to us already. Everybody has to be careful.
Yellow red color.
Oh, yellow level.
Yellow alert, they call it right? Yellow alert. To Selangor.
Correct. Mostly on the East Coast.
East Coast. Yeah. Because now I think it's a monsoon season, right?
Correct.
Is anybody cook curry? I smell curry. Is this from your house, Sally? Wow, curry so good smell. Why do I smell the curry, Seduce us by cooking the curry, Sally. This is the wrong thing, you know.
So you're hungry now.
I'm not hungry.
No.
I'm not hungry but greedy. Due to the curry from the house.
Good curry means hungry already, no?
Yeah, the curry smell, transmit by Zoom. Very high technology. Now Zoom can transmit.
Yeah lah.
Zoom. Okay, so class, for this passage, no much.
Sally, you try.
Sorry? Disappear already, yes.
They're on and off.
No,
Mr. Liao, you might off your camera in order to get a better line. Mr. Liao, it doesn't matter you big yourself. You off the camera. Mr. Liao, did you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No picture. Can hear.
You just off your camera, then your line will turn stronger. Okay, so class, basically for this passage, no much thing. So he's just said that right understanding and right thought is just like an eye. Then all the right contact is just like the foot. So they will lead us to the Nibbana. So not much thing. So now I think the most difficult part of class we have gone through already is about the Paccaya-samuppada. No wonder, Sally, you have to keep on listen to the recording. It's necessary because that part you have to spend quite a number of time to really grasp it. Okay, but anyway, the word is not wasted. The effort won't be wasted. Next time, once you meditate, whatever the Sayadaw talk about, you know it very very well. You can interpret it very well. Okay, next, once we go to the right diligence, okay, let's see, is Mr. Leong here? Okay, he still disappeared, right? Your turn, Sally,
I thought it was Elena.
Elena, yeah, Elena, sorry, I forgot already. Either Elena or you,
Right
What's so happy,
diligence can generally propel one from mindfulness to right concentration. Relying on concentration, the realization of wisdom arises. Having attained wisdom, one becomes emancipated. With correct understanding and pure conduct, one naturally feels physically and mentally calm, and one is able to practice for the purpose of attaining realization. This requires right diligence, diligence directed toward renunciation, the abandonment of desires and extinction, which is also called right vigor. Right diligence was described by the Buddha as fourfold. It prevents evil from arising, puts an end to existing evil, brings good into existence, and increases and broadens the good that exists. Of all the efforts one can make, right diligence has the power to abandon evil and do good. In the study of the precepts, for example, right diligence is the effort to abstain from violation and to keep the precepts pure. For the study of meditation, right diligence is the effort to practice and to avoid hindrances of meditation, such as the five hindrances. For the study of wisdom, it is the effort to stay away from deviant knowledge and views from confused attachments, and also the effort to attain right understanding and right thought. All this can be achieved only by diligent practice. Even worldly good deeds require effort, to say nothing of a great deed of transcending the world. Thus, when the Buddha was resting during his travels and heard Ananda talk about diligence, he immediately sat up to express his boundless respect for diligence.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, finish. Class, now we talk about the right diligence. Okay, what does it mean as a right diligence? Sometimes also we call it as a right vigor. Okay, right diligence meaning to say that class, we must have a right diligence so that we keep our precept, and also without the support of the right diligence, we can't keep precept well and do meditation well, and we couldn't have the right view properly also. Basically, how do we define the diligent is remove all the sin if you discover it. Avoid all the sin even though it haven't arise. Keep on the good once you discover it. Cultivate the good which is not available. So this is we call it as a four aspect from the right diligence. Okay, if let's say for those with the right diligence, he will try to keep the precept as well as possible. To protect the Vinaya. Second, for those with the right diligence, they will try to avoid all the 5 hindrances so that they can meditate better. And the third, if you really got the right diligence, you will try to avoid all the deviate views so that you can keep your right view. So class, this is a definition for the right diligence. For those who have a right diligence, they will try to work hard and never give excuse for themselves. Okay. Class, if let's say, for example, okay, if let's say you have a right diligence and you used to do the morning service and the evening service for yourself, basically, you will show like this, okay, maybe you plan to go outstation, so you will spend extra time to finish the morning service. Even though you travel, you still do this. If you notice that you can't do it during the traveling, you will try to do as much as possible. Or maybe once you reach your house, you will try to do some supplement. You try to do the replacement for what you miss out. So this from here, you will show your right diligence. For those without right diligence, so they will say that, oh, I'm ready to go out, so no need to do. Once they come in, they say, I'm so tired, so also no need to do. You get what I mean? From here, you know that whether it's a right diligence or not. Well, basically, how does the right diligence come from? It's away from the first desire, the intention, the right thought in the first place. Why you have the right thought there to be right diligent? There must be you have the enthusiasm that you want. You aim for liberation. So everything go back to the right understanding. Okay. So class, do you get it? So from here you can judge yourself already. So class, if let's say your right effort is so weak, you have to go back to the right understanding and the right desire. There must be something wrong in these two parts so that you don't see much right effort. Okay. Yes. How about the right effort from both of you? You just really try your best to work hard. To do the morning service or study the Buddhism. Yes, very good. The way I see Elena requests of the extension of the time is a right effort. It's very good. Okay, so class, now from here, we go to the right mindfulness and right concentration. Oh, we are about to finish already. The Eight Noble Path. So your turn, Sally, I think.
With right understanding and pure precepts, one can practice meditation, which develops from the practice of mindfulness. Mindfulness, attentive focus, is the principal method of collecting the mind and not letting it to be scattered. But at this point, mindfulness still requires resolution to renounce as a guide. The mindfulness to be practiced is not mindfulness of others, but the right mindfulness that comes from the right understanding and the right thought. This right mindfulness is in accord with wisdom and aimed towards nirvana. When right mindfulness is accomplished, one can attain right concentration. The states of concentration can be briefly summarized as the aforementioned 8 dependent concentrations. Of all these, the Buddha particularly emphasized the 4 dhyanas. These are the ones that can most easily initiate concentration. This is not ordinary concentration, but the extraordinary concentration oriented towards nirvana. It corresponds with with mindfulness and wisdom, and thus is called right concentration. Practicing meditation and wisdom together by relying on right concentration will, in the end, give rise to the faultless wisdom that comes from realizing the distinct nature of dependent origination, which is the wisdom that comes from nirvana.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. and Mrs. Leung are totally liberated. We don't see that anymore. Okay, so class, let's take a look. We go to the right mindfulness. Okay, class, right mindfulness, we are quite familiar. Every Sunday you come, you pay attention to the breath or you try to let go. That's we call it as a right mindfulness, okay? But anyway, for right mindfulness, according to the text, okay, the right mindfulness should lead you to the right concentration, okay? Basically, in order to lead our right mindfulness to the right concentration, you must have some right thought in the first place, okay? A class, have you ever experienced that sometimes you may feel lazy to meditate just because maybe you rather choose to watch a movie or maybe just go through the Facebook? Have you ever experienced that? Sometimes I'm a little bit lazy, so I don't do this. I better do other thing which is more enjoyed. Have you ever experienced that? Right? Okay. So class, if let's say you choose not to meditate but just do the other thing, meaning to say that sometimes our mind are quite weak. Our right understanding is not persistently strong all the time. Sometimes it may turn weak. So it is quite normal, even though it's a monk. So that's why if let's say you see, every Sunday, every Saturday we do the group study is so important. If let's say without this group, I think it could be worse. Do you believe or not, Elena and Sally? I think it could be worse, because are you alone only? Yeah, study not study doesn't matter. For me, I have to teach. You see, I have no choice. All times, I have to teach. While I teach, I keep on remind myself. See, so for me, I also like this type of persistent teaching, rather than just ad hoc only. So you see, class, by having the right concentration, okay, we meditate. Then the meditation basically will achieve, will lead to the right concentration. Okay, now none of us, none of you reached the first jhana yet. So basically from the first, second, third, fourth jhana, this fourth jhana is the ideal jhana for the vipassana, which is very encouraged by Shakyamuni. Okay, but anyway, if let's say you are able to attain the immaterial jhana, okay, another three are arupa jhana. So that is a good idea also. So totally we call it as a 7 dependable jhana. As the text mentioned, 7 dependable, meaning to say that we can use this 7 to attain to the nibbana. But anyway, among all these, the fourth jhana is the best because Shakyamuni attained the nibbana through the fourth jhana And Shakyamuni attained parinibbana also through the fourth jhana. So it's possible, you are encourageable to do the fourth jhana. But if let's say you just do the fourth jhana itself, this is not a right concentration because you attain the jhana and you stop it. This is a mandate jhana. In order to become the right jhana, right concentration, you have to integrate the jhana with the vipassana. Then we call it as a right concentration because this is leading to the nibbana. So class, always remember, the jhana is the tools for us. It's not our destination. So Sally, always remember, once you jhana, reach the first jhana, stable, time for you have to shift to vipassana. Don't just stay at the jhana because you will become a non-Buddhism already. Basically, the yogaism and also the Taoism, they might be stopping here already. Once they reach the jhana, the thought there is the permanent already. So they stop and no more proceed. But for us, we will proceed again to the vipassana. Get it? Okay, huh? So this is about the text. Okay, let me see. See any point I missed out. Huh? Yeah, okay. Yeah, mindfulness request the resolution. I see or not. Without resolution, we'll be lazy sometimes. Okay. Then 7 dependent jhana, 4th jhana I mentioned. All right. Okay. I think all I mentioned. I didn't miss out any point. Okay. So next paragraph. Okay. Elena, your turn. All right. With the attainment.
With the attainment of faultless wisdom that transcends this world, one will eliminate afflictions, realize the truth, put an end to birth and death, and be emancipated. At this point, one will have completed the goal of practicing the way of liberation that transcends this world. Emancipation and nirvana come from the practice of the Eightfold Right Path. That is why the Buddha, when expounding the truth of the way, always taught the Eightfold Right Path and praised it as the Eightfold Right Path leading to nirvana. In this description of the three studies and Eightfold Right Path, the two seems to have different sequences. The three studies move from precepts to concentration and from concentration to wisdom, while the Eightfold Right Path moves from wisdom to precepts and from precepts to concentration. Actually, the sequence of the way is always the same. The study of wisdom is both its beginning and the final outcomes. So the sequence of the Eightfold Right Path is this. Right understanding is the wisdom that comes from hearing. Right thought is the wisdom that comes from thinking. And the thoughts leading to right speech, right action, right livelihood are the study of the precepts. Right effort is common to all, particularly the practice of right mindfulness and right concentration, which is the study of meditation. When meditation and wisdom are in accord, this is the wisdom in practice. When through concentration, faultless wisdom comes into existence, this wisdom comes from realization and the true study of wisdom. From this point on, one is emancipated.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. So fast. Okay. Okay. So what? Okay. We try to digest first. Okay. Okay, footnote 52. Class, can you check for me? 52, what sutra is this?
It's the same. Jia Jia Qing, T2.
Oh, okay. T2, oh yeah. Yeah.
T12.
Oh, okay. Nice hearing from you, Mr. Leong. Mr. Leong, I thought you disappeared already, huh? I thought you've been.
No, we came back from Nibbana.
Yeah. Somewhere in time. You come back from somewhere in time. Finish? Shall I proceed? Okay. Yeah. Okay, nothing much. Okay, so class, for this paragraph, more on academic comparison. Okay, so class, let's take a look. If you talk about the three training, we begin with the sila, we end up with the wisdom, correct? But for Eight Noble Path, we begin with the right understanding, but we ending with the right concentration. See or not? So I mean, this is what the paragraph mentioned about. Meaning to say that right understanding is the beginning, also is the ending. That is the unique of the Buddhism. We always emphasize on these things. Okay, okay. So class, if let's say we begin with the sila, okay, once we purify the sila, we attain the samadhi, and from the samadhi, we realize the nibbana, that it will be the right wisdom. But sometimes it has to begin with the right understanding in the first place, because with the right understanding, you don't know where to start. You don't know where to begin. So right understanding make us in the proper, let us know where to begin. And finally, with the right concentration, once we reach from the right concentration, we switch to Vipassana, then we, experience the Nibbana. You see, class, you think you begin from the right understanding, or you begin from the sila, the way you learn the Buddhism. Sally, Elena, and Mr. Leong, you think you begin from which way, you think?
Sila.
Sila. How about Elena and Mr. Leong?
Sila.
Sila, huh? Elena also agree. No, I don't think so. I think you all become with the right understanding, because you are all more intellectual. So intellectual, before practice, they come to understand first. This is the reason why everybody here, they begin with the meditation for beginner. Even though we talk about meditation for beginners, actually you can also say so, you begin with the right concentration. But from right concentration, we try to introduce you some dharma, and then you know that you have to proceed. So you come back to the right understanding again. From right understanding, okay, and also once we try to study the meditation for beginners, we include all the sila, the right action, right livelihood, right speech, all inside the content. So from at that moment, you start to follow already. So meaning to say that the Eight Noble Path, sometimes we can't technically say that where to begin. And sometimes it can happen simultaneously. You just do all simultaneously, and it will go round and round. Am I right? You see, once you finish that, you come back to study the Buddhism. Now we go back to the right understanding again. Okay, every day you do the meditation, there's a right concentration. So in daily life, you try to keep the right speech, right action, right livelihood. So you can say that actually Eight Noble Path, we do all together. So until we met the Nibbana, then everything will stop. You get it? I think this is a more how to say, more comprehensive way to explain what we did now, what we do now. Okay, next, let's take a look. We go to the paragraph. Yeah, Mr. Leung, would you like to read since you come back from the time?
Okay. The ways of liberation that the Buddha taught, the three studies and the eightfold right path, and therefore are therefore the same. The sequence of wisdom that comes from hearing, thinking, practicing, and realizing is the same as the sequence from precepts to concentration, from concentration to wisdom, and from wisdom to emancipation. The identical nature of the three studies and the eightfold right path are illustrated in the accompanying chart. Right understanding, the stage of wisdom of hearing.
Okay, never mind, no need. So I think Mr. Leung, you can just proceed to the 103. Okay, all the great.
103. All the grades of the way are taught by the Buddha are grouped into 37. The way is the same, but the recitations vary according to the people's capacities, or they differ in the level of difficulty. When the Buddha expounded the truth of the way, he always taught about the parts of the Eightfold Right Path, but dispersed among various sutras are teachings about the various grades of the way. The grades of the way, which total 37, are grouped into 7 major categories. Number 1, the 4 stages of mindfulness. 2, the fourfold diligence. 3, the fourfold basics of supernatural power. 4, the 5 roots. 5, the 5 powers. 6, the 7 branches of enlightenment. And 7, the 8 parts of the right path. Why are these 37 categories called the grades of the way? The way is the free translation of Bodhi. These are the different items that are practiced to attain some Bodhi, perfect liberate enlightenment. Thus, they are called the grades of the way. The fourfold diligence and the eightfold right path have already been explained. The 4 stages of mindfulness are mindfulness of the body, mindfulness of sensations, mindfulness of the mind, and mindfulness of the phenomenon.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, class, let's go to the comparison. This is the comparison between the three training and also the Noble Eightfold Path. Let's take a look. You see, right understanding is the stage of wisdom of a hearing. Expansion just now is a hearing. So from right thought to the right livelihood is about the stage of the wisdom of thinking. Okay, thinking. Then right effort, right to the right concentration is the stage of the practice of the, it's the stage of the wisdom of practice and the stage of the wisdom of the realization. From the realization, we will see the superior study of meditation, the superior study of wisdom, and attaining the emancipation. You see, okay. Class, I think the way I see this four is the translation is not that ideal. Mr. Leong, from actually this is from the Savastiwada, you know. This is from the Savastiwada. In Mandarin, we call it the Wen Si Xiu Zhen. But the way they translate, I feel awkward. Maybe I'm not used to this type of very, how to say, very common translations. Okay, let me find for you. Is there any other original text language regard this? I think the author, I know the translator, they have to try to create their own translations in English because they have no choice. Okay, I think I can get from here. Oh yes, I know. Pariyati, Patipati, and Pativeda. I got it already. So class, let's take a look. So the first one, the hearing, class Strata Mayi Prashnya. Yes. Okay, class, let's take a look. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, can you please add in? Okay. Okay, this one, the stage of a hearing. Class, take a look. This is the hearing number 1, number 2, number 3. Okay, please add in the Sanskrit. Struta Mayi Prashnya number 1, Cinta Mayi Prashnya number 2, and Bhavana Mayi Prashnya number 3. This sounds more better and more official. Class, this is from Savastiwada. Okay, remember, this is from the Savastiwada. Okay, so this is, I prefer the Sanskrit, the more proper. Then let me see here. Okay, the superior study, meditation, I think the Sangxue Huizhen Sangxue emancipation. Okay, so class, once we talk about the superior study, the definition is the superior study, meaning to say that once you hold the precept, it will try to lead the second, which is the meditation to raise up. So we call it as a superior study. Superior study meaning to say that there will be outcome for the next stage. Okay, so we call it as a superior study. Mandarin we call it 真上学. So the superior study. Okay, then one more is a realization. Let's see. never mind. I think maybe quite difficult for me to get that. Okay, so let's continue to see. Number 103. Okay, actually here we are in the 37 Pojanga. Mr. Leong, do you realize that once you read it out, once you read it, actually it is regards 37 Pojanga? Do you realize or not? Because the way they use the terms is quite different. Very great of the way. Yeah, Mr. Leong, do you realize that that is about 37 Bojanga? Bojanga. 37 Bojanga. Yeah, Patipaga Dharma, 37 Patigama Dharma. So class, please write this. Let me see. Let's see which one is better. Okay, class, please add the Pali term here. Okay, here the Greek of ways. Here you see the Greeks of way. Please add Pali term for this Greek of way. Bodhi Pakika Dharma. Please add this. Bodhi Dharma. A class, if you try to communicate with other people, other Buddhists, please don't try to use the Greek of way. You have to say 37 Bojanga or this Bodhi Pakika Dharma so that people understand. I suspect the translator, they create their own system. But I worry that finally, when you go to Theravada meditate, people don't understand what you're talking about. Because this one, the Greek of way is very unique. It is not common. Mr. Leong, am I right? In Theravada, you don't communicate in such a manner, right?
We call the 37 factors of enlightenment.
Yeah, they won't talk about, they won't use this for Greek of way, right? No, never.
No, they don't.
Am I right?
No.
Okay. So there's 7 major category. One is the 4th stage of the mindfulness. This we call it as a satipatthana. I think I have to add in with some Pali term first. Yeah, class, please write satipatthana. I think if I try to find, I cannot find. Let's see the 4 stages of mindfulness. Let me see whether I can Google it out. Okay, you finish copy the satipatthana. Let's see how. Class. Maybe Google is very smart. The 4 foundation of mindfulness, 4 stages. But they use a foundation. Class. Okay. If you are free and got nothing to do, all the terminology possible, you try to Google it. See how is the other translation. This is the way of Buddhahood. I think it's not that not that authentic the way I see. Okay, class. So the next time you talk to people to understand, you have to do some adjustment. Okay, so satipatthana. Then next, let's take a look. Google is very smart. Next is the 4-fold diligence. Let me see the Pali.
4-fold efforts.
right diligence. Right diligence is more proper. Fourfold, basically use diligence, fourfold diligence. Yeah, diligence is okay. So fourfold. So there's a fourfold right diligence. Okay, class, it is proper, no problem. The second one. Then we try to see the next one. The fourfold basic of the natural power. Okay, wait, let me check the right diligence. The Pali terms first. Oh, this is too many things already.
Viriya.
Yeah, I know Viriya. Let me try to look for you the proper one. The Pali terminologies. The wiki doesn't appear. As you see, class, some use for assertion, you see, assertion, I think it's not this, diligence, you see, if you use the Mandarin, I get the proper one. Not this. Not exactly. Okay, Samatha. Okay, class, can you write Samatha? But Viriya is more common during the communication. Mr. Leon, when you once you talk to the Theravada Buddhists, they used to say Samapadana, or they used to say Viriya or right effort. Which one they prefer you is?
More on Viriya, right effort. Not they don't talk about right diligence.
Or right effort. They prefer Pali rather than English. Is correct. Once one that speak in the terminology, is correct.
English is to confirm that it is the right effort.
Oh yes, okay. He used to play piano, Sally. Okay, so please write a Samapatana. And please write the Viriya also. Viriya. Yeah, energy diligence. So class, please write Viriya, the Pali. Okay, next, we try to finish the terminology before we start the class. 5 roots, are you 5 roots? Not good, you see. We can't get anything from the 5 root, you see. So I prefer use Mandarin to begin. Okay, 5 root should be Indriya. Okay, 5 root, please class, write Indriya. Indriya. If you can't Google it, meaning to say the translation is not that good already. Indriya. But the meaning is there lah, Okay. Sometimes it may make
they say called the 5 mental faculties.
Faculty, I think faculty is the proper English. 5 faculty, yes. Okay, this was a Pala. Okay, Pala is a 5 power, I think. Let's take a look. Yes, 5 power. 5 power. Please add in 5 faculty, class. Okay, this one, the 5 root, please write 5 faculty also. 5 Indriya. And 5 power, please write Bala. Okay, Bala. Huh? So 5 bala, what English they used to use, Mr. Leong? Yeah, he plays piano again. Okay, never mind. The line is so bad. Okay, 7 branches of enlightenment. This one, let's see.
Sorry.
Yeah, the 5 power. What do they use to use 5 power? Okay, 7 branches. Yes. Okay, so the class, the 7 factor of enlightenment. 7 branches. Please change to. Please add 7 factor of enlightenment. This is more proper. 7 factor, and Pali is the bodhi pakya dharma. Bodhi pakyama dana. Okay, so class, I think we stop here. Okay, well, we progress very well, you know. Once we finish Bojanga, then we go to the friction. Then we're about to finish already. Very soon. Okay, okay. So the hardest time, please go through by yourself. Okay. Yes, please palms together.
Wait. Sifu, you miss out one supernatural power.
Oh yeah, okay, supernatural power. Yes, we need that. Supernatural power. 是神族Yeah, iti pada. Okay. Supernatural power iti pada. Okay. Okay, let me try to see whether I get it or not. Okay, maybe I try to see English. Iti pada.
Yeah, this down there. But psychic power.
You're able to see it, iti pada.
Yeah, there, the psychic power is down there.
Psychic power is downstairs.
I saw the word psychic power, the spelling there.
You saw it already, Okay, yeah. I think let's see. Iti pada is compound
spiritual power.
Iti pada. Yeah, psychic power. Yes, the
psychic power.
Yeah, but the English, it seems how to see how do they use it? Iti pada. Yeah, supernatural power. Yeah, I know. But yeah, sometimes Pali is the better word. So we will mixture Pali and the Pali words in our class. Okay, that's for today. Okay, so we try to transfer merit. Mr. Leong, you can make yourself appear. Okay, please palms together. I wish to inculcate.
Okay.
More favorable consciousness.
Or favorable consciousness.
Through transfer.